Knicks family, what's poppin'? Revenge game. Let's get it. Let's get it. Reminder, Knicks family, January 21st, 2019, Martin Luther King's Day. New York Knicks versus the Oklahoma City Thunder at Madison Square Garden. Tickets are now available. Private lounge on Chase Bridge. Food and non-alcoholic beverages are included. Courtside at the pregame shoot-around and a mini tour of MSG. $205 for a ticket, $220 with an NBK shirt. Get them now. NothingButKnicks.com/NBK events. They are still available. There's about 22 remaining, so let's get it. Knicks family, what's poppin', man? We back in the building. Knicks, early game today. Play at 6 o'clock. Exactly 28 minutes from now. Versus the Orlando Magic. And this is a revenge game. Revenge game for the New York Knicks. We got dounced by these dudes not too long ago. Exactly a week ago, as a matter of fact, last Sunday, November 11th. We got put out of our misery early. Hopefully tonight, we can change that. We can change that a little bit. And we can, try to get back on track and get some wins starting tonight. Against the New Orleans Pelicans, we had a good start to the game. We came out strong. Offensively strong. Defensively, we went up by 20 against the New Orleans Pelicans, but we couldn't hold it. Too much pick and roll in the end. Too much AD. Too much. Tonight, we play against another top-notch center in the NBA, Nikola Vucevic. Really good center in the NBA. He's killing it. Averaging 19, 20 points a game. 11, 12 rebounds or whatever it is. Let's get this one back. And people laughing, I get so tired of hearing these tankster guys. Revenge game? Yeah, right. It is. You know what I'm saying? Even if we lose, we should have that kind of chip on our shoulder, regardless what anybody else thinks. Guys need to learn how to have a chip on their shoulder. Right? This is the game where Frank Ntilikina, played 5 minutes, was sat on the bench, lost his starting position last Sunday after his poor performance. He didn't have a poor performance. You can go back and look at the video that I did. He really didn't have a poor performance. But Coach Fisdale wanted to look in a different direction, and he did. And offensively, I think it worked after he made another lineup change, right? So it worked offensively. But anyway, Frank Ntilikina should have a chip on his shoulder. These are the guys that caused me to sit on the bench. I'd have a chip on my shoulder. The Knicks should have a chip on their shoulder. But listen, Orlando, exactly, Tim Hill. Play to win or don't play at all. I'm with you 100%. Play to win or don't play at all. You know what I mean? Playing your young guys and developing your young guys is totally different from tanking. Totally different. It's two totally different things. We can have that argument all day long. I'm not going to have it now. But it's two totally different things. But anyway, Orlando is playing well. Playing very well. They're a team that is much better than their reputation would have you believe. Their reputation from the past, that is. They're a team that's playing very well. Let's look at the team comparison and check it out a little bit. Orlando is 8-8. The Knicks right now, we're 4-12. Okay. 8-8 is not that bad. And in the East, that's good for a playoff spot right now. I believe they're in the 8th spot in the East. Points per game, New York, 107.3 points per game. Orlando, 106. But that's very deceiving. They've been scoring much better as of late. And listen, when they played the Knicks, they had a low field goal percentage, just like us. They were shooting 43% from the field. Now they're up to 45. But the way that they moved the ball, the way that they found open shooters, the way that they cut to the basket, backdoor screens, set screens, you had to know they weren't going to stay a poor percentage shooting team for long. Their offense was too. It was very. They had a lot of actions that they used: backdoor cuts, off-ball screens, on-ball screens, high pick and roll, a lot of curls to the hoop. They did a lot. It was a very diverse offense. They shoot 34.5% from three. The Knicks are 31.6% from three. The Knicks last in the league in assists per game, 18.8, and it continues to drop, my friends. It continues to drop, and it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. The reason why it continues to drop is because the New York Knicks, we play a lot of ISO ball. If you look at us down the stretch versus the New Orleans Pelicans, we played ISO down the stretch. That's the last 5 minutes of the game. There was a lot of ISO. And you see the results. And those will be the results more likely than not. Let me tell you something. That'll kill us every single time. It'll kill a team every single time. I'm finished going through this team comparison. Then I'm going to talk to you about something that happened earlier today with one of my basketball teams. Turnovers. The Knicks are averaging 15.3 turnovers per game, and it continues to rise, although I believe we only had 13 turnovers last game. Orlando is averaging 13.5 turnovers per game. Look at their assist-to-turnover ratio. 25.6 assists per game, only 13.5 turnovers per game. Look at the Knicks. We average as many turnovers as we do assists, almost. Defensive rating, the Knicks are down towards the bottom, 25th in the league in defensive rating, 110.8. Orlando is a little bit better than us, 108.5. Rebounds per game, the Knicks actually have a slight edge here, 45.4 to Orlando's 43.1. But that could be very deceiving. That 45.5, that's when Enes Kanter is playing minutes. Well, Kanter played 8 minutes last game. 8 minutes. And he's not happy about it. He's not happy at all. But you know what? So the cookie crumbles. As Fizdale said, his main objective is developing these young guys. It's youth development. He's trying to understand and keep these guys in mind, the young vets. But youth development is his main, that's his main, as he says, that's his main purpose this season. So maybe that's the reason why Trey Burke, I've been asking a lot of questions about Trey Burke, why Trey Burke is in and out, in and out, in and out. We'll see if he continues to be in. And please, my friends, don't get it twisted. Youth development and tanking are two different things. I may do a whole video about it. Or a whole rant, maybe just a whole 1 minute rant about it. But it is. Anyway, the Knicks 7.8 steals, Orlando Magic 7.6. And the Knicks are finally climbing in the block category because of Mitchell Robinson averaging 5 blocks per game. Orlando 6.1. Not just Mitchell Robinson, other guys getting blocks too, because Mitch is only averaging 1.9 blocks per game. But that's the team comparison right now. We'll see. We'll see how this matches up, how this looks come game time. Let's look at the starting lineups. The starting lineups are totally different right now. Totally different starting lineups compared to the first game. For one, Aaron Gordon should be back in the lineup for the Orlando Magic. And for the New York Knicks, we've got some totally new guys in the lineup. And I listened to Coach Fizdale talk about his, the starting lineup. And if he's going to keep it, he said, yeah, with the way the Knicks started, we won the first quarter against the Pelicans 32-16. He said, yeah, he's going to keep this starting lineup. at least for right now. Starting lineups tonight, unless there are last-minute changes, the New York Knicks are starting Emmanuel Mudiay, Alonzo Trier, Tim Hardaway Jr., Kevin Knox, and Mitchell Robinson. The Orlando Magic are starting DJ Augustine, Evan Fournier, Wes Iwundu, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Vucevic. Now, this starting five for the New York Knicks held the New Orleans Pelicans to 16 points in the first quarter. I'm not expecting that to happen again. I think that was the exception rather than the rule versus the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't think this team, I don't think these guys are that strong defensively, not this starting lineup. In my opinion, I could be wrong. And listen, I hope that they are wrong. I really do. I'm sorry that I am wrong. And I hope that this team somehow has the right kind of chemistry defensively to continue to hold teams down in the first quarter. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't believe this squad is a defensive squad. It is an offensive squad. But we'll see what happens. Maybe, defense isn't all about the individual playing hard defense. Defense is about the team coming together to play defense as well. Right? So let's see if this starting lineup can continue to play well and getting the Knicks off to a good start. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Again, the starting lineups for the Knicks versus the Orlando Magic: Emmanuel Mudiay matching up against DJ Augustine, Alonzo Trier matching up against Evan Fournier, Tim Hardaway Jr. matching up against Wes Iwundu, Kevin Knox matching up against Aaron Gordon, Mitchell Robinson matching up against Nikola Vucevic. And let me tell you something. Our three rookies, they got the work cut out for them. Alonzo Trier and Evan Fournier, although Evan Fournier shoots a lower percentage from the field, he's still a threat on the floor. Kevin Knox versus Aaron Gordon, Mitchell Robinson versus Nikola Vucevic. Listen, our three rookies are probably matching up against their three best players. That's, hey, we talk about developing players and putting them in the fire. That's doing it right there. That's doing it right there. Alonzo Trier versus Evan Fournier, Kevin Knox versus Aaron Gordon, Mitchell Robinson versus Nikola Vucevic. Rookies in the fire, man. Coming up against, at least for the Orlando Magic, probably their top three players. Got a phone call coming in. Let's talk to Isaiah. See what's popping. Isaiah, what's cooking, man? Hey, yo, Isaiah, what's up, man?
What's going on, son? Shout out to the chat, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Did you get my text earlier today?
Yeah, I text you back.
Oh, I didn't see it. My fault. I was in the probably because I had a basketball game today. As a matter of fact, before I even get into that, let me talk to everybody real quick. Because I was talking about isolation and playing in isolation. I have several basketball teams. I have a whole basketball program, as many of you guys know, and from little kids on up to men. 30 and over men's team, 18 and over men's team. And my 18 and over men's team had a game today. And right now we are undefeated in our league. And this is not, some of you guys probably thinking this ain't some kind of rec league. No, this is a serious league. Let's put it like this. Three of the guys on my team play college ball. 2 or 3 of them used to play college ball. All right, so these are serious, serious teams. I mean, we got a number of guys in our league that played pro ball and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, we're undefeated in our league. We were up 20 against a team that is probably, are we 20 points better than them? Maybe, but we were up 20. And instead of continuing to play the type of game we were playing, we had a lot of good ball movement early in the game, moving the ball, nice crisp passing. We started goofing off and playing individual basketball. come down the end of the game. Now, we had a 20-point lead with about 9 minutes left in the game. Right? We start playing individual basketball. The next thing you know, it's 3 minutes left in the game and we're up 3. Right? Because we start playing individual basketball. It will get you every single time. Every single time. Now, we got ourselves together, took care of the basketball, come down the stretch, that last 2.5, 3 minutes of the game, and we pulled it out. But it didn't have to be as stressful as it was to pull it out. Right? It was stressful because we started playing individual basketball. You know what I mean? And for our guys, this is not the way that we usually play. We're a team that, we know how to share the ball, move the ball. We have great chemistry on the floor. We play good defense. But we started playing one-on-one basketball. It'll get you every time. We've seen it with the Knicks down the stretch versus the New Orleans Pelicans. One-on-one basketball, lost the game. But this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't have a system to fall back on. I'm going to keep harping on it. I'm still trusting in Fizdale. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Fizdale is still my guy. Still my guy. But a system. I want a system. System. And once we have the principles down, then we can open it up. That's just how I feel. But anyway, go ahead, Isaiah.
I just want everybody to know that I was the one playing ISO in the league that Sim was talking about. I'm sorry, Sim. It was me. I got a little crazy, Sim. I'm sorry, Coach.
Okay.
It was a pretty dark-skinned girl. She winked at me. I said, I gotta go for 50.
Yeah, you gotta go do it. You gotta go for 50. We forgive you. We got to win. We got to win. We're undefeated. Undefeated. We're looking to win the championship this year, man.
Now you're gonna get it, but Sam, I 100% agree with you with the system. I still trust Fizz. I just need to see a system because, like you said, if all else fails, we gotta fall back on something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's we just gotta, like you said before, this is a revenge game, man. We gotta play hard. And also, Sim, there's a few things I want people to. Do you know Knicks? I know you know Knicks Film School, right?
Yeah.
You should definitely check out his latest podcast. They were talking about Frank. Mm-hmm. A lot of people should watch it, man. It was really good and really in depth of what's going on with Frank and how we should. It's really good, man. I encourage everybody to go to knicksfilmschool.com and check it out. It was a good podcast, man. And
check it out. That's my guy, man.
Hear that about what he was saying with Frank. Yeah. Also, too, man. I'm done with cancer, man.
It's actually Jonathan Macri who does the podcast.
Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, he was. I listened to him, man. It was real good, man, and it was real insightful of how Frank is and how in the future when we get good, Frank is going to be one of our most important pieces on the team. He will.
But listen, this is. But one thing about that, I was thinking about this earlier today. We only got 10 minutes till game time, so I want to get through this. But everybody right now, Mitchell Robinson, as a matter of fact, while we're talking about this, I'm going to throw up a key matchup since we're talking about Mitchell Robinson because I have him down as one of my key matchups. Mitch Robinson, who today is matching up against Nikola Vucevic. Okay? Mitchell Robinson's averaging 5.3 points per game, 4.3 rebounds a game, 1.9 blocks per game, not assists per game, and he hasn't shot on a three yet in his NBA career. Nikola Vucevic, on the other hand, averages 54.9% from the field, averages 20 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, 1.1 block per game. He shoots 43.6 from the three-point line, and he also averages 3.1 assists per game. Nikola Vucevic does. Now, Mitchell Robinson, people look at Mitchell Robinson's numbers, and they're okay with it. You know why? Because he's a rookie. And he's a project, right? He's 20 years old. People will look at Frank and be upset with his numbers. They're okay with Mitch Robinson because he's a rookie, he's a project, and he's learning, and da-da-da-da. But because Frank was drafted where he was drafted, people will ignore the fact that he's also 20 years old, the same exact age as Mitch Robinson, and both probably on the timeline that they should be on as far as developing. I seen someone on Twitter today say, "Well, Frank just hasn't developed." Someone said, "Well, Frank just hasn't developed the way that we expected him to develop." And it's like, wait a minute, he's been in the league not even a year. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't even been in the league a year. He's been in the league for a year and a couple of months, actually. So people just got to have some perspective, I think. Just have a little bit of perspective. But anyway, this is a key matchup. Mitch Robinson versus Nikola Vucevic, one of our rookies, going up against one of the top centers in the league. We'll see what Mitch Robinson can do. But Isaiah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I 100% agree with you, man, about everything you just said. You know what, Sam? I realized that what these Knicks fans want from the rookie when they come out, they want them to average 25, 10, 8. They want them to be a finished product. No, they don't got to have no work done. They want LeBron James out of the draft. They want 2003 LeBron James. That's what they want. We don't want development because God knows we never had development. We always let players go 2 years before they become good, and then we be like, wow, we should have had him on the Knicks.
Right.
A.K.A. Trevor Ariza, A.K.A. all these, man. We have all these players, man. Trevor Ariza was a key figure for the Lakers when they won a championship.
Right. And
what do we do?
And people like someone in the chat, just says Mitch never played high school. I get that. He never played high school. I mean, every player has what people don't understand is every player has their own. They have their own story. They're all going to develop at different rates. We just got to be, as Knicks fans. I seen someone in the chat today before I even jumped on said, Kevin Knox is a bust. And it's like, come on, man. I mean, Kevin Knox is 19 years old. He's played less than 20 games in his career, and you're already calling him a bust? That just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense whatsoever when we're saying and doing things like that. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just crazy. And yeah, exactly. I think that's what he meant, Brooklyn Billy and Robert Paris. He meant to say that Mitch Robinson never played college and he played in high school. Frank never played college basketball either, though. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of things that people just have to look at and say, we got to get these guys time to learn and become players. You know what I'm saying? It takes time, especially when you're learning. Mitch Robinson and Frank are learning two of the toughest positions to play in the NBA. Center and point guard. Just got to get these guys time, man. Another one of our key matchups for the night. Another rookie going up against another one of Orlando Magic's best player. Kevin Knox going up against Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon did not play. Neither one of these guys played in the first matchup. Kevin Knox, 33.7% from the field. He's averaging 9.4 points per game, 2.2 rebounds per game, less than 1 assist per game. He shoots 37.1% from the three-point line, which is pretty good for a rookie. Aaron Gordon, 47.2% from the field, averages 16 points per game, 7.9 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game. He's shooting 35.9% from the three-point line. I just want Kevin Knox to play good defense and make it tough for Aaron Gordon. Not that Aaron Gordon is like a superstar, but this is a very good challenge for Kevin Knox. I want to see him make it tough for Aaron Gordon. Make it tough for him. You know what I mean? Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping? Hello.
Hey, what's up, Sam? How you doing?
Hey, what's popping, man? What's going on?
Nothing, man. Getting ready for the game.
Yeah.
Just hoping that we come out with the same effort that we did against New Orleans. I think that was our best game of the season, even though we lost. But I think overall, when you look at the way everybody played, as a whole, as a group, I think that was our best game of the year, even though we lost, man. So,
yeah.
I mean, just if they put out that same effort, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I want to, just put out that same effort. Let me just respond to someone in the chat. Said, well, Frank played professional ball overseas. Yet still, Frank is still 20 years old. I mean, you guys have to understand it. He's played less than 100 games in his career. Kevin Knox has played less than 20. We still got people calling him a bust already. People saying to trade him already. He's played less than 20 games in his career. It doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Doesn't make sense, man. You got to give these guys a chance to grow before. I mean, you act like these guys are all finished products. You know, when they're 27, 28 years old, they're a finished product. Most likely. You know what I'm saying? Around 27, 28, these guys are who they are when they get to that age. You know what I'm saying? When they're 20 years old, they still have a world of learning to go. You know what I mean? A world of learning to go. And you know, but this is what happens when guys are coming into the league so early. Back in the day when the Ewings and the Jordans and them guys were coming into the league, they'd been in college until they were juniors. So they come in really, really ready to play. Not that much development. The development was going on in college. It's a different game. You're going to have your stars like LeBron that come in, you know, and those guys are going to come in ready. Those are once-in-a-lifetime type of guys. Everybody else is not going to be that way. It's going to be, there's going to be some a development process for them guys. You know what I mean? And and it's going to mean that Frank goes to the bench or starts and then goes to the bench, starts and then goes to the bench or something like that. The guy has to be on the floor in order to play. Same thing for Kevin Knox. It's going to mean he starts, goes to the bench, starts, goes to the bench. There may be some of that happens, you know, so that they can learn and develop. As long as they're getting playing time, that's all I care about, you know, because you learn both ways. Sometimes you get pulled, but you get back out there so you can play. You learn some stuff, watch film, those type of things. But, you know, people calling for these guys' necks. They haven't even tipped the iceberg on their NBA careers, man. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, you have to let these guys turn at least 23 before we have any judgment on these guys.
Exactly.
These are kids, basically, man. They're kids playing against men.
Yep.
So people have to relax. You can't sweat on that, Tim. I think Frank came out very aggressive last game. He came, you know, he came out from the bench, but I thought his game, he was looking for his shot. He came out, you know, there was some aggressiveness towards him, but Frank needs to develop an alter ego because
that's it.
He's just too chill and too relaxed, and just, you know, he has to develop an alter ego where when he steps into the court, he has to become a different kind of player. He can't be who he is in normal life. He has to become more. He has to become a different player when he steps onto their court. He has to be aggressive. Somebody needs to teach him that when you step in between the lines, you just have to leave. Sometimes you have to leave who you are. You have to become almost as an actor. You have to become a different role. Just be aggressive.
I hear you.
I don't know. It just seems to me that, you know, he has to find an alter ego. You have to find that. And if I'm Coach Fizdale, what I would recommend for him to pick up an instrument, a musical instrument. He's young. I don't know if he plays anything, but that's good for a point guard because it just everything about the point guard position is about tempo and rhythm.
Okay.
And then I think that would do a lot for him if he just picks up a musical instrument, whether it's a piano or a bass. Mm-hmm. Because the game is about feel. Sometimes I see Frank, he's trying to aim the ball. You can't aim a shot trying to make it in. You have to feel it. Yeah. Everything in life is almost about feel. It's not about measurements. It's not about trying to aim something. When you put the basket through the hoop, it's about feeling it through the hoop. It's not about aiming it. Once you aim, chances are 20% chance you're going to make the shot. Yeah. It's about feeling. Right.
I feel you. Hey, my man.
That's all I gotta say,
thank you for the call because the game is about to start. I see Clyde on the screen chilling with the blue suit, and we about to get it on. So let me finish going through this, man. Tonight in order for us to be competitive and hopefully pull out a win in this game. Let me go through a couple of keys to success for tonight. Let's have another strong start. We've got to have another strong start. It's imperative. The last time we played the Orlando Magic, we were down 30-10 in the first quarter. 30-10. And what makes it even worse than that is for the first 4 to 5 minutes of the quarter, the score was 5-0, which means we didn't score the first 5 minutes of the quarter, and they only scored 5 points the first 5 minutes of the quarter. And then in the next 8 minutes or the next 7 minutes, they scored 25, and we scored only 10. 30-10 in that first quarter. So we've got to have a much better start than we did in the last game. Hopefully this lineup can have the same kind of start that they did, against the New Orleans Pelicans. Watch the back door. We got killed on backdoor screen, not backdoor screens, backdoor cuts. We would overplay, play kind of high, and then they'd cut backdoor. Easy bucket to the basket. That happened a bunch of times in the last game. We got to watch that back door. Help on Vucevic. We're going to need some help there, I think. Vucevic killed this in the last game. He had 31 points this game. He had 31 points versus the Lakers the other night. The Orlando Magic defeated the Lakers the other night. All right, so I think Mitch is going to need some help on Vucevic. Immediately in that first game, Vucevic had 36 points and 13 rebounds last night. Wednesday against Philadelphia, had 30 points and 9 rebounds. The guy's cooking. He's playing well, and he's shooting well from the field with those numbers. It's not like he's shooting a bad percentage. But again, first game, their first points was Vucevic in the post against Mitchell Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson is not really going to have Mitchell Robinson is not going to be able to defend Vucevic in the post. We need to guard that 3-point line. We gave up 42 3-pointers in the last game. They made 17. They shot 40%, but we let them shoot 42 of them. We need to guard that line, which is going to be tough when you might have to help out on Vucevic. Then fourth quarter execution against the New Orleans Pelicans. We lost that game because of poor fourth quarter execution. Poor fourth quarter execution. Isolation ball. That's how we lost that game. We had the game. If we played the right kind of game, we could have won. Isolation down the stretch is not going to get it. We need to move the ball, keep the ball moving, share the ball. Listen, we don't have the kind of superstar that's we're just gonna be able to throw it to him and he go get it. When someone's hot, maybe. But for the most part, we don't have that kind of a player. Sorry, Tim Hardaway's not him. He gives us something that we need, but he's not him. He's not that guy. So we got to do it through a team effort. Team effort. You know what I mean? That's how we we move the ball, find an open person, knock down the shot. Knocking down the shots obviously been a problem for us. But anyway, those are my keys to success. One more time, my keys to success. Have a strong start. Watch the back door. Help on Vucevic. And also guard the 3-point line, which is going to be a problem to do both. And then good fourth quarter execution. That's what we need, in my opinion. And if Cantor's not playing, let's throw rebounding in there. If Cantor's not playing tonight, if he's getting a little, just a little bit of minutes, then we're going to need to rebound. Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox. We'll need Dotson to help out on the boards. Hardaway had 8 rebounds last game. We'll need him to continue to help out on the boards. Anyway, I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you guys at halftime. My prediction for the game, I'm going to say the Knicks pull this one out in a close one. I'm going to say 110-106. Anyway, I hope. We'll see. I'm asking for one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.